Hey, what's up, nerds? I'm here to say that collectors have been ruining Magic the Gathering for years. Where do you all think the singles you buy come from? Yeah, it was actually a comment, and I'm here. I'm going to read it so I don't misquote. Who is this gentleman? Bobby Wolf 6495. Shout out to Hey Bobby Wolf. Dude, stop crying. This is on my latest video. Dude, stop crying. It's the collectors that killed this game. I mean, I didn't have to say much. I just gave him some crying emojis because, you know, that's what he thought I was doing.
Are you crying?
When I was talking about the shitty pull rate that I got out of March of the Machine after buying a case of cards. And really, it probably came down to the fact that March of the Machine is just not necessarily a great set. That's neither here nor there. He was claiming collectors killed the game. Here's what I got to say about that. Magic is a unique product, or at least it was back in 1993 when it first came around. There were no other trading card games, collectible card games, or anything of that sort. So when you show up and you have this thing that kind of sort of mimics sports trading cards or movie trading cards, but yet on the other hand is a game, it was a whole new beast. Collectible markets help brands. Magic's been around for 30 years, partially because of that market. Making things collectible, things having more value, it increases exposure, it changes the perceived value of the brand. People are willing to spend more money for your product. It also leads to better brand loyalty. I'm hiding them now, but some of you know that I've got a bunch of Lego back here, which has great brand loyalty, but people also expect it to retain and sometimes increase in value. That secondary collectible market has also kept Magic around like it has for many other collectible brands. Now, I know some of you are thinking, yeah, okay, but it still killed this because collectors are driving up the prices. I'd say the rarity of the cards and the usefulness of the cards is what drives up the prices. There's this balance between collectability of the cards and usefulness of the cards as a game. And sometimes if the game goes in one direction and the game is the focus of everything, then the collectability disappears a little bit. And there's a balance to be struck between those two things. My opinion, my perspective, and I'm really happy when you tell me I'm wrong because that gives me a chance to make more content. But anyway, let's talk about how the collectability and the game have worked together to keep Magic around for 30 years. I go back in the Wayback Machine, and I remember when people were mortgaging their homes to buy Beanie Babies. Do you see many Beanie Babies? Yeah, there's a few of them that are kind of collectible out there that are worth a chunk of money, but most of them are just a pile of stuffed animals. And they should end up where most other stuffed animals eventually end up, in the dumpster. Sorry, Velveteen Rabbit. Beanie Babies didn't have any value outside of their collectability. And once people realized there's a billion of these things and we don't really care, that value disappeared. At least in Magic, you've got that game to balance out the collectability. If it was all game, it might have faded a long time ago. If you could get as many cards as you wanted, if there was no chase and no excitement and intrigue about like who could have this card or how do you get a hold of that card, I think that probably would have maybe not kept the game around. What would have been the drive for Wizards of the Coast and eventually Hasbro Wizards of the Coast to keep producing new cards and trying to keep that collectability aspect in there so people wanted to go out and get the new cards? There had to be some power creep just to keep people coming back for more. Now, I'm just talking off the cuff here. I might be completely off in, like La La Land. I'm in the crimson wastes of the game Returnal, which I've been spending way too many hours playing. Maybe I'm lost somewhere. It makes sense to me because Magic has been around for 30 years, and it hit that perfect spot between collectability, the thing that excites people about it, and the gameplay, which also excites people. And those two things together, along with the art and the lore, has made this game survive this long. Now, recent behavior of Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast is a little challenging. Recent behavior could be seen in that box of March of the Machine collector boosters I opened. And yeah, here I am crying again.
What's that? Are you crying? Am I crying? No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
But the pull rates really sucked. And the expected value really sucked as well. Now, I'm smart enough to know, and I've been selling things on the internet since the 90s. It's true. And those first things were actually Magic cards. I've been selling junk on the internet since the 90s. And don't let anybody tell you what the value of something is. The only value that it has is what someone else is willing to pay you for it. And so many times we get lost in this idea that this thing is really valuable. Let me tell you, I pulled that Croxa Titan of Death's Hunger serialized card. I originally listed it at $700 on TCG Player because that seemed like a reasonable price. That thing plummeted until I finally sold it the other day for $300. And I was happy to get that amount because the value of something is what someone is willing to pay. Without the collectability of the game and without the enjoyment of the game itself, how many of you would be willing to spend the money you do on Magic cards? It's that balance again. They're not Beanie Babies. I'm kind of actually surprised, to tell you the truth, Funko Pops have stuck around as long as they have because those things really just also sit there. But I think they have the added benefit of being connected to very popular licenses like Marvel characters or, classic Universal monsters or just anything these days. So, that wasn't the only comment that came after me. There was another one. And it was fine. I mean, I like it. I like people challenging my thinking. It's kind of my favorite thing on this planet. Oh, yeah, then there was also the Do Master. Not sure what the Do Master. Sure. Just buy singles. Stop gambling. It's that easy. What were you expecting? Seriously. What I was expecting, and I replied on that comment, was fun. I like opening packs. The thrill of the chase is fun. And yes, it is gambling. But it's fun. Wizards and Hasbro made sure to take some of that fun away by kind of making a substandard product. Okay? A substandard product where you spend a lot of money and you're still waiting for the best cards. No, I'm not going to stop cracking packs. Where do you all think the singles you buy come from? People like me, stores also, that are cracking packs. And if there's no value in those boxes, that avenue is going to dry up because people are going to stop opening those boxes. So, I don't know what to say. I love Magic the game. I've loved it for a long time, since I was a wee lad in college. But I'm looking at other games right now. And I want to talk about Sorcery here in a week or few days. I want to talk about the Sorcery Contested Realm game. I've seen some openings of that, and the artwork blows me away. The artwork, the vibe, the mood, the lore, it feels like a throwback, and it feels gritty and honest and a fantasy game again. Kind of some of the things that Magic has been losing lately. I hope Magic rights the ship. I really do. It is a game that a lot of people love, and it is also a collectible that a lot of people love. And some people, believe it or not, enjoy both. Take care out there, nerds. Have fun interacting with this wonderful game and collectible in whatever way you want to. And don't let anybody tell you you're wrong. As long as you're having fun and enjoying yourself and not hurting anyone else, you're right on target. Adios.